So today we're gonna learn and how to do an item analysis. But first, what is item analysis? Item analysis is the act of analyzing student responses to individual exam questions with the intention of evaluating exam quality. It is an important tool to uphold test effectiveness and fairness. Item analysis brings to light test quality in the following ways. First is we will be able to determine the item difficulty. Okay, in this way we will be able to know if the item is just easy, okay, it's difficult or moderate. Okay, another is we will be able to know the item discrimination. Okay, in here we will be able to know whether we need to revise, we need to delete, or we need to retain the item. The item destructors will be determined also if the destructors or the options, no, possible options, are effective or not. Okay? So item analysis should bring the light to light both questions and answers as you revise or omit items from your test. Okay? It answers the questions: is the item difficulty level appropriate? Does the item discriminate appropriately? Or are the destructors effective? Okay, so here are the steps that we can do or we should do for us to determine the index of difficulty. Okay, the first step, okay, here we have an example. Okay, so this is a result of item number 18 of a mathematics achievement test taken by 42 grade 6 pupils. Okay, so here are their scores. Okay, the 42 students with their scores and their answers for item number 18. Okay, so the first step that we are going to do here is to arrange the scores from highest to lowest. Okay, so you start with the highest. Okay, a student who got 95 is the highest. Okay, and then write their answers, corresponding answers for that particular item. Okay, the next step is to separate the top 27% and the bottom 27% of the students or the cases. Okay, so how do we compute this one? So we simply multiply 42, since there are 42 students, with 0.27. Okay, so multiplying that one for us to get the 27% of the top and 27% of the bottom. Okay, so we should have 11 students at the top. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And also, we need to get the 11 students from bottom. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we will just disregard the middle. Okay, the students who are in the middle. Okay, we will just get the upper group and the lower group. Okay, so we label it as upper group and the lower group now. Okay, so step 3 is to tally the number of cases, okay, of each group who got the item correctly. So since the correct answer is letter C, so we are going to count how many students who got the correct answer in the upper group. Okay, the correct answer is letter C. So we have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 students who got the correct answer in the upper group. And then let's go now to the lower group. How many students got the correct answer? Okay, there's only one, right? Okay, so only one who got the correct answer in the lower group. Okay, next step. we have to compute for the index of difficulty. Okay? To compute for the index of difficulty, we simply add R sub U, which is the right responses in the upper group, and R sub L, which is the right responses in the lower group, all over N. Our N here is the total number of students from upper and lower group. Okay? So, how many students are there in the upper and the lower group? Okay? In the upper, we have 11. In the lower, we have 11 also. So, since we need to get the total number of students from the upper and lower group, we simply add. Okay? So, therefore, our N must be 22. Okay? So, going back, R sub U is 9. The students who got the correct answer in the upper group. And R sub L is 1, the number of students who got the correct answer in the lower group. So 9 plus 1 divided by 2, okay? So 10 divided by 2 is 4 point, is 0.4545, okay? So we need to multiply it to 100. So therefore, our index of difficulty is 45.45, okay? So the next step is to write the interpretation. In here, we have the table for interpretation of our result. Now, if we have 0 to 25%, the item is difficult. If we have 26 to 75%, the item is slightly difficult. And if we have 76%, the item is easy. Okay, 75% or above, the item is easy. And also, we have the corresponding action that we need to do also. If it is 0 to 25%, we have to revise or discard that item. If the item is 26% to 75%, we have to retain that item. If it is 76% or above, we need to revise or discard that item. Okay? So that is on how we are going to do an index of difficulty or to determine the index of difficulty. Okay? Next, we have the index of discrimination. In here, we will be able to know if we need to discriminate an item, okay, or not. Okay. The first step that we need to do, okay, same example as what we have in the first, which is the index of difficulty. Same example here in the index of discrimination. Okay, so the first step in the of discrimination is the same with the index of difficulty, to which we are going to arrange the scores from highest to lowest with their corresponding responses. Okay? For that item, still number 18, item number 18. Okay? So the next step is again to separate the students or the responses or the group into 27% for the top and 27% from the bottom. Okay? And so to do this, we have to multiply 42 since there are 42 students with 0.27. So we must have 11 students from the top and 11 students from the bottom. So there are 11 students in the upper group and 11 students in the lower group. If you may ask, the students who are in the middle will just be disregarded. Okay, will just be omitted. Okay, next, step 3. Okay, tally the number of cases from each group who got the item correctly. Okay, so we have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 who got the correct answer in the upper group and 1 student who got the correct answer in the lower group. Okay, so to compute for the index of discrimination, we simply subtract the students who got the correct answers in the upper group with the students who got the correct answer in the lower group, divided by NG. NG now is the total number of students from upper or lower group. Okay? Since there are 11 students in the upper group, so we can use that one or we can use the lower group. So our solution now is, okay, so step 4, let us compute now the index of discrimination. Okay, so here in the index of discrimination, we simply get the difference between the students who got the correct answer in the upper group and the students who got the correct answer in the lower group over the total number of students from upper or lower group. Since there are 11 students from the upper group, okay, and 11 students in the lower group, so we may use only one, okay, so we use 11 only. So we have 9 minus 11, that's 8, divided by 11 is 0.727. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is to write the interpretation. Okay? So by looking at this table, we will be able to know what interpretation are we going to write depending on the result of our index of discrimination. Since our index of discrimination is 0.727, okay, this means that the item is very good and must be retained. Okay? Because looking at our table, an item discrimination from 0.40 and above is a very good item. And 0.727 is above 0.40. Okay? So that's all for today. Thank you. Okay, so step 4, let us compute now the index of discrimination. Okay, so here in the index of discrimination, we simply get the difference between the students who got the correct answer in the upper group and the students who got the correct answer in the lower group over the total number of students from upper or lower group. Since there are 11 students from the upper group, okay, and 11 students in the lower group, so we may use only one, okay, so we use 11 only. So we have 9 minus 11, that's 8, divided by 11 is 0.727. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is to write the interpretation. Okay? So by looking at this table, we will be able to know what interpretation are we going to write depending on the result of our index of discrimination. Since our index of discrimination is 0.727, okay, this means that the item is very good and must be retained. Okay? Because looking at our table, an item discrimination from 0.40 and above is a very good item. And 0.727 is above 0.40. Okay? So that's all for today. Thank you.